Virgo, September 19th is not just another date on the calendar. It is your final judgment. The universe has drawn a line in the sand, and on this day, 3 shocking tests will appear before you. They will not come with warning signs. They will not announce themselves as danger. Instead, they will slip into your path like shadows disguised as light. Fail these tests and your destiny will be sealed, frozen in karmic patterns until 2033. But if you rise, if you pass, then the very miracles you have whispered for in silence, love, breakthrough, abundance, freedom, will finally unlock and rush into your life. This is not a small turning point. It is the moment when the heavens measure your spirit. And Virgo, they are watching closely. Stay with me, because before this prophecy ends, I will reveal the exact 3 traps, how they'll disguise themselves, and the secret keys to overcome them. But here's the twist. These tests won't look dangerous. They will appear ordinary. They will appear tempting. And that's exactly why most souls fail them. Would you like me to continue with Heading 1, the first judgment test, the silent attack in the same 200-word detailed narration style? Virgo, the very first test of September 19th comes in a form that cuts deeper than any sword. Silence. It won't be a loud betrayal. It won't be a dramatic fight. No, this test creeps in quietly, almost invisibly. It comes when you're left on red, when your voice feels dismissed, when someone you thought would stand with you suddenly pulls away and gives you nothing but cold silence. Now here's the truth. The universe is not punishing you. It is setting up a stage, a divine setup. You see, Virgo, your spirit is being tested in the space where you feel most vulnerable, in the silence between words, in the emptiness of unanswered questions. This is the silent attack. It is not about what others are doing to you. It's about what rises inside of you when you feel misunderstood, unseen, or ignored. Do you doubt yourself? Do you question your worth? Do you start begging for validation? Or do you hold your ground, stand tall in the storm, and realize that silence from others cannot drown the truth of your soul? Because here's the secret. This test is not about them. It's about you. The universe is asking you, Virgo, can you stand in your power even when no one claps for you? Can you keep believing in your path even when no one speaks your name? And make no mistake, this will not be easy. On September 19th, someone close to you may suddenly go quiet. It may be a friend who stops calling, a partner who withdraws, a family member who doesn't support your choice, or even the universe itself feeling like it's gone silent to your prayers. This is the battlefield, and the silence will feel like betrayal. But let me be very clear, this isn't rejection, it's initiation. The universe is not closing doors to punish you. It's closing mouths to teach you to listen to your own voice. Imagine this. You send a message, no reply. You expect support, none comes. Your instinct may be to chase, to demand answers, to spiral into self-doubt. But the test is to pause, to breathe, to realize my value is not reduced because someone else cannot see it. My light is not dimmed because someone else refuses to acknowledge it. Virgo, silence is often the loudest truth. It shows you who really stands by your side. It reveals hidden intentions without words. And more importantly, it reveals you to yourself. Now here's where it gets dangerous, and where most souls fail this test. Because when silence falls, the enemy whispers. Thoughts like, you're not enough, you don't matter, you're always forgotten. And if you believe those lies, you fail the test. The universe isn't judging you for feeling hurt. It's measuring if you will surrender to the lie of unworthiness or rise into the truth that your worth is unshakable. But here's the twist. The person who seems to abandon you during this silence may not be an enemy at all. They may be your soul mirror. They are unknowingly reflecting the exact wound you still need to heal. If their silence triggers your fear of abandonment, that's the universe showing you where you still carry scars from the past. If their distance makes you feel unworthy, that's your inner child asking to finally be healed. So don't see this person as the problem. See them as a mirror placed in front of you by divine design. Because once you pass this test, silence will no longer control you. Ignored calls won't break you. Ghosted texts won't shake you. You will stand so rooted in self-worth that even the loudest silence will feel powerless against your light. Virgo, this is the first judgment of September 19th. To not confuse silence with rejection. To remember that your destiny is not in anyone else's voice. It is written in your own soul. Let me ask you something. How many times in your life have you felt invisible? How many times did you question your value because someone else couldn't see it? That pain was never random. It was training. Every ignored moment was building you for this day. Because now, on September 19th, the universe says, prove it. Prove that you can stand in silence without breaking. Prove that your faith is louder than the absence of words. And here's what happens when you pass. Instead of begging for attention, you attract it. Instead of chasing love, love flows toward you. Instead of doubting, you radiate certainty, and certainty is magnetic. This is how the universe reshapes your reality. Think about it. If you can survive silence, nothing can break you. If you can still believe when no one claps, you're unstoppable. That's why this test comes first. Because everything else, love, money, destiny, requires this foundation. The ability to stand firm in your own worth without needing constant confirmation. So Virgo, when silence arrives on September 19th, don't panic, don't chase, don't collapse. Stand tall, look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am not defined by who responds to me. I am defined by the light inside me, and remember. But here's the twist. Silence doesn't last forever. When you pass this test, when you no longer crumble under the weight of being ignored, the silence will break. And when it breaks, you'll see the truth. Who is really for you, who was never with you, and who the universe has been preparing to send into your life as a divine ally. The silent attack is only deadly if you believe it. But if you endure it with strength, it becomes your shield. It becomes the very proof that you are ready for the blessings waiting after judgment. This is your first test, Virgo, and passing it means you're one step closer to unlocking miracles that have been waiting for years to reach you. Virgo, after the silence comes the second judgment, and this one is far more dangerous because it won't feel like a challenge. It will feel like an opportunity. This is the false door. It comes disguised as a blessing, as an easy shortcut, as something shiny that promises quick satisfaction. At first glance, it looks perfect. It looks like the answer to your prayers. But hidden behind its glow are karmic chains designed to trap you. The universe wants to see, will you fall for illusion, or will you hold steady for the truth? Picture this. Someone offers you a deal, an invitation, or a connection that feels too good to be true. It could be a sudden romance that burns too fast, an unexpected financial opportunity, or a person who promises loyalty without showing consistency. It feels exciting, tempting, almost irresistible. And here's where the danger lies. Because Virgo, your heart has been waiting for relief. You've been asking for a breakthrough. You've been hungry for a sign that something is finally shifting. So when this door appears, it feels like destiny. But not every open door is divine. Some doors are traps painted gold. This is why it's called the false door. because stepping through it feels like progress, but in truth, it circles you back into old patterns. This test is about discernment. The universe is asking, Virgo, have you learned to see beyond surface shine? Can you recognize the difference between a karmic loop and a divine alignment? And here's the hardest part. The false door will not look dangerous. It will look beautiful. It will look like everything you wanted, wrapped in one moment. That's why so many fail this test. They mistake the glitter for gold. They think the shortcut is destiny. They ignore the red flags because they're blinded by the glow. Virgo, hear me clearly. This is the trap of illusion. The universe wants to see if you'll chase the gold that glitters, or if you'll wait for the diamond that lasts forever. Let me give you a vision. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. To your left, a door opens, light spilling out, music calling you in. It feels warm, immediate, exciting. To your right, another door stands closed. It looks ordinary. It looks harder to open, but beyond it lies the treasure that will actually last. Which one do you choose? This is the choice September 19th places before you. The false door will sparkle with instant gratification. The true door may look plain, even uncertain, but the plain door hides your real breakthrough. So how do you tell the difference? The false door always demands you abandon your values. It pushes you to rush instead of pause. It whispers promises without proof. And if you step through, it takes more than it gives. The true door, on the other hand, asks for patience. It may feel slow. It may feel uncertain. But it honors your integrity. It doesn't force you to shrink. It doesn't demand you betray yourself. But here's the twist. Rejecting the false door will feel like loss. It may feel like you're walking away from the only chance you had. It may sting. You may wonder, did I just throw away my miracle? That's the test. Because behind the rejection, behind the pain of saying no, lies a hidden miracle portal waiting to open. You see, the universe doesn't test you to punish you. It tests you to prepare you. When you turn down the illusion, you signal to the divine, I am ready for what truly belongs to me. And the moment you do that, the real door begins to open. Let me remind you, Virgo, you've walked through false doors before. You've said yes to people who promised the world but left you broken. You've jumped into chances that looked exciting but drained your spirit. Each time, you learned. Each time, you carried wisdom forward. Now the universe is asking, did you learn enough to finally recognize the difference? The false door is temptation. The true door is transformation. And the two never arrive together. That's why this test is so tricky. Because you only see the false door first. You have to close it, walk away, and trust that something better is coming. This is faith in action. Faith is not believing when the miracle shows up. That's easy. Faith is believing when the miracle is still hidden and all you see is the temptation in front of you. Virgo, on September 19th, when the false door appears, pause. Ask yourself, does this align with my higher self, or does it demand I compromise? Look past the glitter. Listen to your intuition. If you feel rushed, manipulated, or forced, it's the false door. If it feels steady, aligned, and true to your soul, that's the one worth waiting for. And I promise you this, when you reject the illusion, the universe will reward you. The true door will open, and when it does, you will see why you had to wait. You will see why you couldn't settle for less. You will see that the delay wasn't denial. It was protection. So Virgo, the second judgment is here. Don't let shiny illusions steal your destiny. Don't trade forever for temporary. Choose the door that lasts. Because the false door is the test, but the true door is your destiny. Virgo, now we come to the most dangerous test of September 19th, the one that decides everything, not because of what others will do to you, but because of what you will do to yourself. This is the shadow mirror. Unlike the first test of silence, unlike the second test of illusion, this one doesn't arrive outside of you. It rises from within. It's the moment when your old fears, your buried anger, your hidden guilt come crashing to the surface. And here's the truth. This is the test most souls fail. Because it's not about someone abandoning you. It's not about rejecting temptation. It's about looking straight into your own shadow and not running away. The universe is going to send you a situation on September 19th that feels eerily familiar. Something will happen that stirs a wound you thought was already healed. Maybe someone speaks to you in a tone that echoes an old betrayal. Maybe you're overlooked in a way that reminds you of your past rejection. Maybe you're faced with a choice that brings back guilt from a mistake you made years ago. Whatever it is, it will feel heavy, personal, painful, almost unbearable. And here's why. This is not just random pain. This is the universe holding up a mirror that reflects the parts of you that still need light. Virgo, you've always been a healer for others. You've always been the one to fix, to carry, to sacrifice. But when it comes to your own shadow, you often avoid, suppress, or judge yourself too harshly. That's why this test is the most critical. Because if you cannot embrace your shadow, you cannot fully step into your destiny. This mirror will not flatter you. It will show you your deepest fears. Fear of abandonment, fear of failure, fear of never being enough. It may show you anger, raw, fiery, overwhelming anger at those who wronged you, or even at yourself for choices you regret. It may show you guilt, heavy chains from the past that whisper, "You should have done better. You should have been more." And in that moment, Virgo, you will want to turn away. You will want to deny it, escape it, or bury it again. But that is how the cycle continues. Because here's the twist. The very emotion you try to escape will actually become the key to your breakthrough. If fear rises, facing it will set you free. If anger erupts, expressing it in a sacred, healthy way will cleanse you. If guilt surfaces, forgiving yourself will unlock the chains of karma. This is why the shadow mirror is so dangerous and so powerful, because it forces you to see what you've been hiding from yourself. And the choice is simple, but difficult. Do you continue running from your shadow, or do you finally embrace it? The universe is asking, Virgo, will you love even the parts of yourself you've hated? Will you hold space for the pieces of you that once broke? Because when you can stand in front of the shadow mirror and say, yes, that is me, and I choose to heal, not to hide, you pass the test. But let me warn you, most people fail here. They lash out at others instead of healing themselves. They blame, they deny, they collapse. They see the shadow and mistake it for punishment instead of a pathway. And so they get stuck, trapped in the same cycles, repeating the same lessons year after year. But Virgo, you are not here to repeat. You are here to break free. Think of the shadow mirror like a locked door. The key to opening it is hidden inside the very thing you're afraid to face. Fear is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Anger is not your curse. It is your fire, waiting to be directed. Guilt is not your prison. It is the proof that you care enough to grow. The moment you realize that, the shadow loses its power. Suddenly, what once scared you becomes your strength. What once chained you becomes your fuel. This is the final judgment within the 3 tests. If you can pass this, if you can stand in the mirror and accept every part of yourself, even the ones you've run from, you unlock a level of destiny that few ever reach. Because here's the divine truth. Light is not born by avoiding darkness. Light is born by transforming it. You cannot claim the crown without carrying the cross. You cannot embrace your destiny without first embracing your shadow. Virgo, on September 19th, when the shadow mirror rises, don't run, don't deny, don't collapse. Instead, breathe, face it. Speak the words, I see you. You are part of me, and I choose to love you anyway. In that moment, chains will break, cycles will end, and you will step into freedom. Because the shadow mirror is not here to destroy you. It's here to reveal the parts of you that are finally ready to heal. And once healed, nothing, no silence, no false door, no darkness will ever have power over you again. So remember this prophecy: the shadow is not your enemy, it is your final key. Pass this test, Virgo, and September 19th will not be a day of judgment. It will be the day of your rebirth. Virgo, we now reach the point where the three tests converge. September 19th is not just a test of silence, not just a test of illusion, not just a test of shadow. It is a cosmic trial, a weighing of the soul. This is the cosmic weighing scale. On this day, the universe becomes the judge, the witness, and the recorder. It does not punish you. It does not condemn you. No, Virgo, it simply measures. It weighs your past, your present, and your potential future. Every word, every action, every decision, no matter how small, tilts this scale. One choice can lock you in delay until 2033. Another choice can open acceleration that pulls miracles into your life at lightning speed. That is why September 19th is so powerful. It's not random. It is written as a cosmic checkpoint. Think of ancient Egypt, where the heart of the soul was weighed against the feather of truth. If the heart was heavy with fear, guilt, or lies, the soul was bound. But if the heart was light, clear, pure, aligned, the soul advanced into eternity. Virgo, this is the exact energy vibrating through you now. The scale of your destiny is trembling, and everything you've carried, all your lessons, your wounds, your victories, your mistakes, sits upon it. Now here's the mystery. The scale does not weigh what you say you want. It weighs what you choose. It doesn't matter if you pray for change, but still choose the same patterns. It doesn't matter if you speak of miracles, but still walk through false doors. The scale is exact. It moves only by choice, not by wish. And this is why this moment is so critical. Because on September 19th, you will be faced with decisions that may look ordinary. But in the unseen world, they are monumental. But here's the twist. Even the smallest choice, one text, one word, one yes or no, could decide your path for years. Say yes to the wrong door, and the scale tilts toward delay. Choose silence when you need to speak truth, and the scale tilts toward stagnation. Forgive when your heart says no, and suddenly the scale swings toward liberation. This is the divine balance, not in grand gestures, but in daily acts. Not in dramatic displays, but in quiet decisions. That's why most people miss it, because they underestimate the power of the small. Virgo, the universe has been watching you. Every heartbreak you endured, every time you stood up after falling, every prayer whispered into the night. It is all on the scale. But so is the resentment you held, the anger you buried, the doubts you fed. Nothing is erased. Nothing is overlooked. Everything is measured. Now don't hear this as punishment. Hear it as liberation, because it means you are not judged by fate, by luck, by randomness. You are judged by choice, and choice is always in your hands. The cosmic weighing scale is not here to scare you. It's here to awaken you. It's saying, Virgo, you are not powerless. You are the one tilting the scale. So what will you do when the moment comes? Will you respond in fear, or will you act in faith? Will you choose comfort, or will you choose courage? Will you repeat the past, or will you claim the future? Remember this: Destiny does not move on feelings, it moves on decisions. And on September 19th, you may not even realize how important a moment is until later. That text you choose not to send. That door you choose not to walk through. That apology you choose to make. That truth you choose to speak. These tiny acts are not tiny at all. They are weights placed on the scale, and the balance tips accordingly. This is why the energy of this day is called Final Judgment, because what you choose now echoes for years. Some timelines will close, others will burst open, and it all depends on which side of the scale you allow your choices to fall. Virgo, let me paint the picture for you. Imagine the scales in front of you, one side representing delay, heaviness, and cycles of the past, the other side representing acceleration, alignment, and breakthroughs. With each choice you make on September 19th, you place a stone on one side. By the end of the day, the scale reveals your path. Do not underestimate this. You may think, it's just one decision. Number. It's never just one decision. It's a declaration. Each choice is a prophecy written in action. And here is the divine promise. If you choose alignment, if you choose truth, if you choose courage even when it's hard, the scale will swing in your favor. And when it does, destiny will accelerate so quickly, you'll wonder how life changed so fast. But if you let fear decide, if you settle for illusions, if you hide from your own shadow, the scale tips heavy. And when it does, the universe says, lesson not learned, delay until the next cycle. Virgo, you've been delayed long enough. You've been waiting, circling, hoping. This is your chance to break free. This is your moment to prove that you've learned, that you've grown, that you're ready for more. So when the cosmic weighing scale appears on September 19th, remember, the universe is not punishing you. It's measuring you. And you, Virgo, have the power to decide which way the scale falls. The question is, will your choices anchor you in the past or launch you into the future? Virgo, if you reach this part of the journey and you have passed the 3 judgment tests, the silent attack, the false door, and the shadow mirror, then September 19th will not end in fear. It will end in crowning. Because September 19th is not only a day of weighing, it is also a day of reward. The universe does not test you to break you. It tests you to promote you. And the truth is, passing these tests does something extraordinary. It unlocks gifts you have been crying out for, even in the silence of your soul. 1. Financial doors open. The first secret reward will be financial release. Maybe you felt stuck in money, working hard, but never seeing the breakthrough. Maybe you felt like every step forward gets blocked by unseen walls. On September 19th, once you pass your tests, new doors of prosperity begin to open. But here's what makes it powerful. These doors are not ordinary. They're not just about extra cash or temporary blessings. These are destiny-aligned opportunities. Think of it like this. Instead of chasing endless small gains, the universe aligns you with the right stream of abundance, one that keeps flowing. A client you've been waiting for finally says yes. A delayed payment suddenly clears. A new opportunity lands in your lap that doesn't just give money, but multiplies it over time. Passing your tests proves to the universe that you are ready for this level of provision. But here's the twist. This reward won't look like a winning lottery ticket dropped at your doorstep. It will begin as a seed, a chance, a conversation, an idea. If you nurture it, it will grow into long-term wealth. If you ignore it, it may vanish. 2. A divine protector appears. The second secret reward is protection. Passing the tests activates unseen guardians. For weeks, you may have felt alone, even spiritually attacked. But September 19th marks the arrival of divine reinforcement. This may manifest as meeting someone in the physical world who suddenly has your back, supports your dream, or shields you from betrayal. Or it may appear spiritually as synchronicities, angel numbers, or dreams that reveal a guide standing beside you. This protector is not random. They appear when you've proven that you can stand firm in trials. Think of it as the universe saying, now that you've stood alone, you've earned the right to be shielded. But here's the twist. Your protector may not look like a savior. They may appear as an ordinary person, a friend, mentor, or even a stranger whose words shift your path. Look carefully, Virgo, because heaven rarely wraps its helpers in obvious packaging. Third, love and alignment restored. The third secret reward is restoration of love. For many Virgos, relationships have been the battlefield. You felt misunderstood, abandoned, or pulled into toxic cycles. But passing your 3 tests clears karmic blockages in the heart. On September 19th, alignment begins. This doesn't always mean a lover rushing back with roses. Sometimes it's deeper, a healing in your spirit that finally makes you magnetic to true love. If you're single, this could open the pathway to someone divinely chosen, a soul bond you've been waiting for. If you're in a strained relationship, healing energy may begin to restore trust. If you've carried heartbreak, this is the moment the wound begins to close. But here's the twist. It won't happen instantly. Instead, it begins as a shift inside you. You'll feel peace where you once felt pain. You'll forgive where you once held bitterness. And that inner change will call in outer alignment. Remember, the reward comes in seed form. The miracle is hidden inside what feels small. 4. Spiritual elevation. And perhaps the greatest reward is invisible, a rising in vibration. When you pass the test, you don't just receive things, you become someone new. You step out of the old identity of lack, fear, and doubt, and you step into the version of yourself who is ready for destiny. This shift alone opens every future door. Virgo, September 19th is not just a trial. It is also your graduation day. The universe is waiting to crown you. The crown is invisible, but its effects are real. New confidence, new clarity, and a deep knowing that you are no longer stuck. Closing this section. Virgo, as you endure the weight of these 3 tests, remember, every tear, every challenge, every shadow moment is not punishment. It is preparation. The universe never puts you through trials without hiding treasures on the other side. But here's the twist. These treasures are not handed instantly. They arrive as seeds. And your next season is about recognizing them, planting them, and protecting them until they bloom into your miracle harvest. Virgo, we have walked together through the shadowed halls of September 19th, and now we stand at the edge of your final judgment. 3 tests await you. The silent attack, where silence, betrayal, or miscommunication tries to shake your worth. The false door, where a glittering distraction tempts you to choose illusion over truth. The shadow mirror, where your deepest fears rise to the surface, demanding to be faced. Each test is not random. Each one is heaven's way of asking, are you ready for your next chapter, Virgo? And then comes the weighing scale. Every choice you make on this day tips the balance. Will you lean into delay or into acceleration? Will you freeze until 2033 or rise into freedom? Here is the prophecy. September 19th is your crossroad. Fail, and the door closes for a long season. Pass, and your destiny is rewritten forever. Virgo, if this message found you, it is not coincidence. It is a divine summons. The universe is calling your name, preparing you for the tests, promising you the rewards. Now the choice rests with you. Drop a 9 in the comments if you claim your breakthrough. Share which test resonated with your spirit most. And subscribe right now, because your next prophecy is already written, and I'll reveal it here first. This is not the end, Virgo. This is only the beginning of your new story.